on everybody's mind, so I'll go ahead and address it now. I will not be wearing a white suit tomorrow. So, pretty tough 5-game stretch, needless to say, we got coming up. Starts with a difficult one tomorrow night, obviously, against a very, very good North Carolina team. But with 5 difficult games comes 5 big opportunities. So we've had a very good week of practice. Took a couple of days off earlier in the week from practice, kind of just regrouped, and guys seem ready to go. They have a really good focus about them, so hopefully that translates into us playing well tomorrow and trying to get this one of these next 5. So our guys are anxious and they seem ready to go.
As a player, Coach Dave, have you ever, or can you recall having a tougher closing stretch than this? 5 games of this caliber, 3 on the road. So.
Closing stretch, probably not. Now, 5-game stretch in general, I'd have to think about that, but closing stretch, probably not. But with that being said, it's just, you got to approach it one game at a time. Our goal right now is to go 1-0, and then next Wednesday, our goal will be to go 1-0. So that's the way you have to approach it. So, like I said, it's 5 very difficult games. There's no beating around the bush on that, but it gives 5 opportunities to give us a chance to get some really good wins. So, you just got to approach it one game at a time, and we're not the only team that's got difficult remaining schedule. I know some of our guys in the office the other day were talking about some of the other teams' schedules. I think Clemson or somebody else has a pretty tough one as well. North Carolina, I think, has a pretty tough finishing stretch. So it's the end of February. Every game's tough at this point of the year.
How has Dang progressed?
He's gotten better. We didn't throw him back into the Wolves first day back or anything and say, here, go practice for 2 hours. But, we did some individual stuff with him, built up on practice time a little bit. So he's progressed well. And, as long as he doesn't have any setbacks, he should be ready to go a little bit tomorrow. And so, we're just kind of taking it day by day. That hasn't changed.
Feel good about where your team is going into the last part of the season?
Yeah, I do. It was good the last 2 games, like I talked about, getting back to playing good defense. Offensively, we played very, very well the last couple games, and I think that was a product of us playing good defense, as crazy as that sounds. It's when things are going well in the defensive end of the floor, you don't seem to worry as much about the other end. And because of that, you play with a little bit more confidence, you play loose, you play free, and our guys are really passing the ball well right now, not just in these last couple games, but in practice too. We're really passing the ball well to each other, and hopefully it's something we can continue, but we just need to come out tomorrow and especially these last 5 games and defend. Tomorrow obviously the backboard's going to be a big factor in the game, as it always is with them, but we got to come out and defend like I know we're capable of doing.
David, this might sound a little weird, but is it almost a good thing that Dang had to sit out a couple games? Because it seemed like it allowed some other guys to get some minutes, and it seems like those guys have really gotten some confidence.
Yeah, it's never good when one of your better players has to sit out, but there's, with the silver lining and everything, Darius obviously got a lot of time. He played very, very well in those 2 games. Jordan got a lot of time, played very well. Dwayne got a little bit more time, played well. So it was a team effort to make up for Dang being out. And, like I said after our game the other day, the thing I was most pleased with was nobody came out and tried to do it all themselves. Everybody just did what they do. We played well as a team on both ends of the court, and that was pleasing to see. So, it got some guys who hadn't played nearly as much more time. And this time of year, any time you get on the court, that experience can certainly help, especially when you're young guys like Jordan and Darius.
You guys offensive rebound so well, but the way that North Carolina gets in transition, do you have to change your mindset a little bit when it comes to this game in particular?
Yeah, you do. Your guards do. Not that our guards are crashing the glass hard every time, but you really got to be aware of, okay, if I'm one of the guards and I don't take the shot, I have to get back. And if I'm a 4 or 5 man and I have a legit chance to get a rebound, then yes, by all means. But if it's kind of one of those in between where you're caught in the high post and you probably can't get to the backboard, you need to err on the side of caution and just start to get back. And, transition defense starts by doing 2 things: taking good shots and not turning the ball over. So we can't turn the ball over, and we have to take good shots. So, but with that being said, Carolina's going to push. That's what they do. But we can't get into a track meet where we're trying to trade baskets with them and make it a 98-95 type game. And we have to run our offense and stay patient and just do what we do. And instead of getting a good shot, try to get a great shot.
Besides the rebounding, what do you see as Carolina's strengths?
Well, they're extremely different in a couple areas than normal Carolina teams. They don't have the 2 traditional low post presence like they have in the past. You know, last year with Hicks and Meeks and Tony Bradley, those guys, I mean, they always had 6'10", 250-pound guys in the game. And obviously this year they're much different. They've had a lot of success playing what I call smaller with Luke May at the 5, Pinson at the, I guess you could say at the 4, and basically playing 4 guards. So, but the amazing thing to me and their coaching staff, I know Coach Williams deserves a lot of credit for this, is their rebounding hasn't dropped because of it. You know, you would think that would be the first thing that would go, but it's not the case. And they're dangerous this year because they shoot the ball so well. I mean, Luke May really shoots the ball well. Barry obviously shoots the ball very well. Cam Johnson really shoots the ball well. Kenny Williams really shoots the ball well. So you got to be there. I mean, they average 18 assists a game in league play, which is an incredible number. I mean, they're a high assist team, and you got to be there on the catch, and you got to be ready to challenge a lot of shots because they're going to take a lot of jump shots, but you know they can make them. So we're going to have to defend the 3-point line.
I'm sure you've thought zero about this question because you got games to think about. But if Roy Williams stays at Kansas, you might not be. It's a little bit weird to play against the guy that recruited you, but how does it kind of feel? Being where you are right now?
Well, there's no doubt if, you know, in a weird way, if he doesn't leave Kansas, I'm not saying it right now. I mean, it's probably a given. And so it's just crazy how things work out. But, you know, he was one of the first people that called me back in the fall when all this happened and just told me to just be supportive and all that, and gave me some good advice on a couple things. And you know, we've kept a great relationship. We really have. And he always asks how my family's doing first and foremost. And you know, we've always kept a good relationship. But yeah, it was strange being an assistant. Well, first being a player in the Elite Eight, playing against him, it was a little different. And then being an assistant coaching against him, and now being a head coach. I mean, it's kind of funny how full circle everything comes. But he's obviously one of the best coaches in the game, and there ever has been. And we've had a great relationship. But you know, and I'm sure he'd say the same thing. That doesn't mean that tomorrow night we don't want to beat each other, because I know he's very competitive, and I am as well. But yeah, he's been a good friend.
They've gotten better at offensive rebounding since the league play started. Obviously lost a couple of their really big physical guys. What is it that they do that makes them so effective?
Well, they pursue the ball. You know, I've never, talking to people who've seen them practice and been to their practices, they emphasize 2 things over and over and over, and that's rebound and run, rebound and run. And when you're emphasizing it like that every day, it just becomes part of what you do. And, you know, with them taking a lot of perimeter jump shots this year as opposed to years past, there's a lot more long rebounds, and so that's probably why some of the guards' numbers are up a little bit, because, you know, a shot will come off the rim to the perimeter and their guards are there. But it doesn't matter who their personnel is, they're always going to rebound the ball as long as Coach Williams is coaching, because that's just what they do. He did it at Kansas, he's done it at North Carolina, and that's just what they do. So it's just a mindset that's been ingrained in their players from day one of practice, and I'm sure they continue to harp on it until the day the season's over.
What attracted you to want to play for him at Kansas?
Well, style of play. You know, before I had my knee issues, I was a guy who ran the floor pretty well, and obviously his system for big guys is as good as there is. And you know, he obviously recruited me extremely hard, and you know, I just felt it was a good fit there. And you know, he's had a lot of success with post players throughout his career, both at Kansas and at North Carolina. So you know, he really was genuine when sold me on the whole recruiting process. And I mean, you know, Kansas is a top 5 program in the country, and there was a lot of positives about it. But you know, just obviously everything changed. But you know, it's just he's Hall of Fame coach. I mean, he's as good as there is. So.
Louisville fans on Twitter here are upset that you're not going to
I don't own one. It would take way too long. I can't exactly just run down to Macy's and pick one up off the rack. So, you know, my wife was nagging me saying, you got to do something, and I just, you know, that's not my personality. I mean, it'll be a great environment in here tomorrow night. I know everybody's excited. Our players our returning guys who played in here in that environment are excited. Our young guys they'll be blown away by what it's like. But not only because it's a whiteout, but because we're playing North Carolina at 8 o'clock on a Saturday. But it'll be the best environment we've had in here this year. There's no doubt about it.
Do you even have like a beige suit?
Black, navy blue, and dark gray. That's all I got. I'm pretty, you know, my wife gives me a hard time all the time. She says, you know, like I dress like this. Like everything I own is black. And I'm not a dark person. I'm not gothic. I just, you know, I have very pale skin, as you can tell, and white doesn't. It's not my color. Even in the summertime, if I'm playing golf or doing something, I'll wear a golf shirt, but I don't wear white ones. I don't know. It doesn't look good on me. It's not my color. I don't know if I have a color, but that's definitely not it. Well, I asked somebody. It might have been Jordan Sutter. It might have been my wife. Because I have a white tie. I got married. I had a tuxedo on, but it was a white necktie, and I was like, should I wear that? But then they were like, no, that would look too much like a tuxedo. And so we've thought about some things, but we still got about 24 hours. So I don't know. Maybe I'll go home and she'll have something all picked out for me. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't know besides wearing a white suit, I don't know what you can really do. I don't know. But like I said, she's been texting me a little bit about it today. So I could come home. There could be a couple new things that she'll want me to try, but it could be a game time decision. But I would say right now I wouldn't get my hopes up if I was anybody out there.
That's the biggest problem you got. You're in good shape, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just want to win. That's all I want. At the end of the day, that's the most important thing. So.
Did your players do anything for you for your birthday this week?
No. I had my radio show. They all text me and wish me happy birthday, and I saw a lot of them over at the office and stuff. But I had my radio show on Tuesday night, and we do it at the Sports and Social Club. And I don't know whose idea it was. I don't know if it was Paul or if it was some of the people that go or the actual place itself. But they had a balloon. They had some people brought some cupcakes, and they had those little horn type things that I think are the most annoying things in the world. So the whole show, people were blowing those. But it's hard to enjoy a birthday during basketball season, especially when you're the head coach in this league this year. I even kind of forgot it was my birthday until about the day before. But, it's best birthday present I could get is hopefully try to get a win tomorrow. So.
I had nothing to do with it, by the way.
Yeah. Did you know who did all that?
The characters up. Well, it might have been the Dames.
It could have been the Dames. Yeah. Probably, but it's.
One more thing about Carolina. Great scoring balance. During the winning streak, I think 4 guys in double figures every game. So that's a huge problem.
Yeah, it is, and they average over 85 points a game, I believe, and they're not a team that's going to do a lot of one-on-one isolation type stuff. They're a heavy pass team, which 18 assists a game goes to show that. Obviously, they run their offense at a great rate. They're always passing, cutting, they're never stopping, and they really thrive on the pass. And so obviously it's a game where we have to try to have a high number of deflections, but you can't just say, okay, we got to stop these 2 guys, because there's got 2 or 3 guys that could beat you. Cam Johnson at Clemson had 30-something points, made 6 threes, I think it was, and Luke May has had multiple 30-point games. Joel Berry can score 30, so it's a team that can hurt you in a lot of ways, and so that's why our team defense has to be very, very good.
Is this a game that you think maybe Jordan would? He's played well. He's been playing, but is this a game where, because they play a smaller lineup, you could have 4 guards and forwards out there at the same time? You think?
We could. We've had success doing that, and also playing 2 traditional bigs together, and Anas and Malik and Ray. But it's a game by game thing. It's just kind of what lineup's playing well, what guys are playing well. There could be times where Dwayne's at the 4, but it's just something you got to look at. We also, with them playing 4 guards, obviously they're more perimeter oriented. But at the same time, if we play 2 bigs together, we also have a size advantage. So kind of works both ways. But you just gotta see what's giving you the best fit as the game goes on, sort of thing, and see which lineup may be giving you more of a boost than others.
Anything else? Okay,
All right, thank you, guys.
Let's see if we got anybody here yet.